Hi, I am Pratik Sengupta, and I will be actually sharing you today all the basic interview questions that are being asked in SQL for any fresher or any 2 to 3 years experience, right, candidate. Okay, so let me share my screen. So, actually, different types of SQL questions can come in interview, right? So, what is SQL? So, what do you mean by SQL? SQL is basically structured query language. Okay, so it's a standard language for managing and manipulating relational databases. So, what do we mean by relational database? Relational database is any database that stores data in the form of tables, that is rows and columns. Okay, so SQL is a standard query language that is used for creating the database objects in relational database, and also like means for retrieving the data from the relational database, for actually deleting the database objects. Okay, and for granting user accesses to those databases. Okay, so this is SQL, and what are the types of SQL statements? Okay, so SQL statements can be broadly categorized into three types: data definition language, data manipulation language, like select, insert, update, delete, and data control language. So as I said, right, data definition language is used to define, alter, or drop database objects, right? Data manipulation language is select, insert, update, delete, right? And data control language like grant, revoke, right? So means if you open here, yeah, right. So this is online SQL editor. So is with here, this one is actually creating the you know a table one. Okay, so creating table one. Okay, and so this is DDL, basically this is data definition language, because it is creating a database object which is table one. Okay, this one is data manipulation language. This one comes under the category of data manipulation language. This is also data manipulation language. This is also data manipulation language. Okay, okay. So so if I create a table calc one, right, and here I'm inserting into the table calc one. Here I'm again selecting the values from calc one, and here I'm updating a particular field in the table calc one, right? And here actually I am selecting the means I am actually again actually reading from the table. If we execute this query, so you can see, right, means a table is created calc one, and it has inserted the values, it has inserted the records into the table, right, into the table calc one, and then after it is actually selecting the records from the table. Okay, so 10, 25, and 35. 10 plus 25 is 35, so that also is coming. And next it is updating calc one, and it's setting updating the value of column X, means of the first row. In the first row of the column X is 13, right? And so when I'm again selecting the fields from the table, then again it's giving 1325 instead of 1025, right? Because I've updated the field well, right? Yeah. So this is how like this. So these are all as I mentioned, like create, alter, drop. I just showed create statement, right? This is data definition language. This is data manipulation, select, insert, update, delete. Okay, and next is data control language. Here we use grant and revoke. So this basically actually is the task of the database administrator. He generally gives access to different users of the data, whether he has read access, update access, okay, to different users. Okay, what is the primary key? Primary key is nothing but a particular column, means a particular field, okay, which basically uh, uniquely defines a particular record in the table. Okay, so that uniquely identifies. Okay, so it must contain unique values. So means primary key values for two rows are never same. Okay, so it must contain unique values and should not be null. Definitely, that is implied, right? It cannot be null. It cannot be a null value. Primary key cannot be null. Primary key of any table, and it also it must contain unique values. Okay. So what is a foreign key? Foreign key is basically um, a foreign key is a column or set of columns in a table that establishes a relationship with a primary key or unique key with another table. It enforces referential integrity in relational database, right? So here, if I open, 1 second. So here, if I open any so if you want to really understand foreign key, right? Foreign key example in DBMS, right? So uh, here, right? So if I open this, so example of foreign key, just you can see here. There is actually there are two tables, student and department, right? So here student ID is the primary key. Okay, so that's what I was just mentioning, that like the primary key uniquely identifies each record in the table. Okay, so so here 101, right? 101 uniquely identifies the this particular record. 105 uniquely identifies this record. Okay, so this primary key can never be same for two rows. Okay, so it must differ. Name can be same, means another person can have same name John. Okay, he might take course computer, but his student ID will differ. Again, all the non-key columns, means all the non-key column values for two rows can be same, but the primary key value for two rows can never be same. Okay, here is a department, right? Here is a department. Department also we can see student ID is the foreign key here. Okay, this is the department name and this is the student ID, right? So here 105 is student ID, student name is Mary, and course is AI. And for Mary, means the department name is CS department, that we get to know from. So basically foreign key links the two tables. Okay, this foreign key links the two tables. So it is a primary key in one table and is used as a foreign key in another table, right? So right. So here it is the primary key, here it is the foreign key, right? Same, right? So we can link the two tables with the help of foreign key, right? So we understood, right? Foreign key, and actually, what is normalization? Normalization is process of organizing the data in a database efficiently. It involves breaking down a table into smaller tables and defining the relations between them to reduce data redundancy and improve data integrity. Hmm? Um, so basically, it breaks down a particular table into smaller tables. Okay, and like it it basically uh, means makes the table modular. Basically, it removes redundant data. Okay, duplicate data, duplicacy, and also it breaks down a particular table into smaller tables, a big table, a complex table into smaller tables, and and defines relationship between them. So what is removed? Data redundancy, unnecessary data is removed, and also it improves the data integrity, right? So like normalization, if we see here the example, okay, you can have that. So DBMS normalization form. So normalization, it is definitely, it is actually, the process of organizing the data in the database, right? So it is used to minimize redundancy, right? It is it is used to eliminate undesirable characteristics. Okay, the main reason why we use the normalization is actually removing the anomalies. Okay, so all the anomalies in the database it removes actually. Okay, so so actually if there are different normal forms, okay, so first normal form eliminate the repeating groups, second normal form eliminate partial functional dependency, third normal form eliminates transitive dependency, fourth normal form eliminates multi-value dependency, and fifth normal form eliminates the joint dependency. So you see a more normal form, more improved version, there are more number of tables. You see, in first normal form there is only one table, second normal form two tables, right? Third three, fourth four, and fifth there are five different tables, and these are linked together. Basically, all these are interrelated tables. Okay. Okay. So what are the advantages? Greater overall database organization. It helps to minimize data redundancy, data consistency, much more flexible database design, and endorses the concept of relational integrity. Okay. So yeah. So now next comes what is a join in SQL? Okay. So what is join? Basically, the different types of joins like inner join, left join, right join, and full outer join, right? So to understand it at a very means at a very basic level. So basically, inner join, means all of you. I think set theory, right? So inner join basically, if we see inner join is whatever is matching a record between the two tables. So that comes under the inner join. Okay. Uh, so if we come here, uh, so here if we see inner join, I'll give an example. So this is one of the product table, right? This is one table product, and this is another table category, right? And here we can see, right, the inner join. So select product ID, product name, category name. Category name is belonging to category table, and product ID, product name belongs to product table, right? So uh, uh, now we are means we are doing the inner join. We are doing the inner join, and here we are joining on the basis of one particular column, right? So product.category id, product.category id equal to equal to category.category id. So whatever will match means, so we are joining the two tables based on the category id, right? So if you just observe here, there is one category id 3 in the category table, but that will not come in the inner join because there is no row in the product table with category id value as 3, correct? So when we do the inner join, so uh, basically, only the common columns will come. So what is the what only means only the match? Sorry, I'm extremely sorry. Only the match records will come, right? So here means what record will come for beverages and condiments? It will come. It means in the inner join table, right? But there will be no table with confections, right? So if we try it yourself, if we try it and we run it, so we can see, right, beverages and condiments are there, right? think there is something. No, here join categories. Check. So coming right. So basically, if we see the diagram, right? So if this is table one, this is table two. Only this particular part is common between both table one and table two, right? So this is actually the concept of inner join. Okay, and okay. So similarly, there will be left join. So all the rows from the left hand side table and all the matched records from both the tables will come under left join. Right join is all the tables from the right hand side table and all the matched records, all the rows from the right hand side table and all the matched records from both the tables will come under right join. And full outer join is all the matched records and all the non-matching records will also come under full join. So if we see the Venn diagram, uh, you know, so left outer join is all this whole thing will be colored along with this. Right outer join, this whole circle will be colored along with the common part. And full outer join, everything will be colored. All means both the table one and table two will be colored. Okay. And what is the difference between where and having clause? Where clause is used to filter rows before groups are applied, whereas having clause is used to filter groups after groups are formed. Okay. So before grouping is done, where clause is there. Okay. And having is, so basically having clause is used for group by when we use group by in SQL. Okay. There actually having clause is used, and where clause is used to filter rows. Okay, before groups are applied. Okay. What is an index? Index is a database object that improves the speed of retrieval operations. So index is nothing like, you have seen the index of a book, right? So when you see the index, you access a particular chapter of a book very quickly, even because it gives the page number. You go to that page number and you access that chapter. Same concept. So for database, index is helps in actually data retrieval operation. Okay, by providing a quick access path. Okay. Next comes subquery. What is subquery? Well, I'll show you I will show you some subquery here. Bye-bye. A subquery is a complete query that appears in the where or having clause of an SQL statement. So you can have up to 16 subqueries within a single SQL statement. So just giving an example of subquery here. So you see here, this is select column name from table name, but column name expression operator. Here, this is subquery, something like this way. Okay. So like this way, here you select name, location, phone number from database. This is the table name. Okay. Where roll number in, select roll number from student. This is another table again, where section equal to A. Basically, it is selecting name, location, phone number from the database table where roll number matches the list of roll numbers present in student table. Basically. Okay. So this is example of subquery. Difference between union and union all, because uh, union is used to combine two or more select statements and use duplicate rows, whereas union all retains whereas union all combines the result sets but retains all rows including duplicates. Okay, so basically a union combines the result set of the two tables. Okay. uh, now now comes the different means what is a correlated subquery. Correlated subquery is very common, right? That it references one or more column from the outer query, thus executing once for each row processed by the other query. Okay, so so when a correlated subquery runs, it actually refers to one or more columns from the outer query. Okay, so column from the outer query is there in the correlated subquery. So it's a very important concept in database, and this is all the other different types of SQL statements, union all intersect. Okay, right. Minus, right? Listing those that appear in the first result set but not in the second. So A minus B is whatever mm, is there in the first result set but not in the second result set. Okay. So this I've already explained: inner join, left join, right join, full join, right? And common table expression is this is also important question that comes during interviews, right? And here uh, we have different. I mean, it's actually a temporary result set that you can reference within a select, insert, update, or delete statement, basically. So truncate is removing all the rows from the table but keeps the table structure and metadata intact. Much faster than delete because as it does not log individual row deletions and doesn't fire triggers. It truncates, removes all the rows from the table, but but the table structure uh, is intact. Okay, and and actually delete is basically slower than truncate because it deletes each record by record. Okay. Hmm. And now next are the ACID properties, right? So ACID stands for atomicity consistency. It's a very important property of every database. So either a transaction is done executed fully or nothing. What are different types of transactions for a database? Different types of SQL statements, right? That we execute. These are actually nothing but transactions in a database, right? So either a transaction is executed in full or no transaction is executed. There is nothing called partially means a transaction is executed. Consistency is that is a transaction brings down the database from one value state to other. Okay, isolation ensures that concurrent execution results in system state that will obtain if transactions were executed serially. So concurrent execution means two transactions can execute, okay, concurrently, but with no deadlock. Okay, so that's a very important property of every database. Okay, so there will be no it can execute smoothly. Okay, durability is once a transaction is committed, it remains committed even in the event of system failure. Committed means permanent changes in the database. Rollback means recovery from that permanent. That's the opposite. So even if the system is failure, then also the changes are not gone from the database. SQL queries are different types and subsets of SQL. These are important questions. So I've already explained, right? Create, drop, different types of DDL statements are there, right? And these are all used to create. It is used to define the structure of the database and modify. Okay. And DML, it's not modified; it just defines. Okay, it just defines the structure of the database. Okay, so different sorry, and modified, yeah, there are also modify also, because why modify, it's telling, I'm explaining it, because the alter is there, right? Alter table alter is there, right? So it is used to modify the structure. So suppose you want to add a column in a particular table, or you want to remove a particular column from the table, then you use this. Okay, then comes the manipulation language, right? And here as I already showed, right, select, insert. Select is just reading records from the table based on some condition, or you can read all the records from the table. Insert is inserting records into the table. Update is updating the value of any particular record. Okay, delete is deleting the records from the table. Okay, and data control language is nothing but the accessing, it's just managing the access rights and permission control of the database. This is in the hands of the database administrator. Okay, database administrator grants his access right to any particular database objects, or he can revoke the means access of any database object from any particular user. That he has the authority. And transaction control language are commit, okay, rollback, which I just showed. Commit is irreversible transaction. It saves permanently. It's whatever changes are done that it saves permanently to the database. Rollback is just reverting the step. Okay. Save point is a particular save point is there till which the rollback can be executed. Okay. Uh, what are the different applications of SQL? Writing data integration scripts, setting and running analytical queries, okay, retrieving subsets of information, adding, updating, deleting rows and columns of data in a database. It's a very important points. Okay, the very important applications of SQL. And what is the default constraint? Actually, constraints in SQL are used to specify, some sort of rules for processing data and limiting the type of data that can go into a particular table. Okay. So default constraint is used to define a default value for a column so that it is added to all new records if no other value is specified. So default constraint means, suppose it is a salary column. If it is null, then it will not allow it to be null. It sets the default value to 85,000. So if I pass no value to this particular column while inserting any record, then 85,000 will be inserted for that particular column. But if we assign some value, then that value will override 85,000. So it cannot be null basically. It assigns a default value if we don't pass any value for that column while inserting the record into the table. Else, it inserts the value which is specified in the query. Okay. So this ends our SQL basic interview questions. I hope this all questions, if you study well, it will really help you crack the interview. Wish you all the best. Okay, for the upcoming interviews. Thank you.
Bye bye.